Oh, oh, hey there. So, you already know who this is. This is me. This is my channel. I'm currently baking some brownies, I think. Look at that. I developed these because of so much stress I was going through. So it's like I'm swollen from my face and like from here. I think this is from like the like constant like like fear. Yeah, fear and like shame. So you get like these warrior lines. Anyways, that's not the point, guys. But yeah, I'm making this oh my god, it's so hot. So yeah. Once I finish with this, we're gonna go outside, okay? And we're gonna have a talk because I have something to say. As you guys all know, I only care about important stuff. I don't care about like. I mean, I do care about like like stuff that other YouTubes care about. But right now, I'm not like rich. I'm like focused more on my mental health because um, I've been mentally ill for the past I don't know 4 years of my life, and you know understandably so because I never got the proper help. I always got the opposite of what I needed. But uh, that's contrast. That's how the universe works, I guess. But still pisses me off. It's still inconvenient for me. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, we're gonna talk about something. It's as you can see from the title. It says, "Don't be a victim." Well, it doesn't say don't be a victim. It says don't make yourself a victim. And the reason why I'm saying this is not in that way, that like a condescending way, like that, like, oh, don't make yourself a victim or don't be a victim. I'm actually saying the opposite. I'm saying the complete opposite because, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why right now once we finish with these brownies. Okay, why I left the brownies cooking because oh my god, what the heck? What the That's like literally so fucking mean. I don't even care. I'm just gonna do it out here then. Excuse the mop, but yeah, there's like a bunch of glass on the ground. I don't know who threw all the glass there, but whatever. That's really annoying. Like, why? Why would someone do that? Like, why would who? What? Okay. Well, anyways, let's get back to the topic. Yeah, so don't make yourself a victim. The brownies are not done, but we're just gonna leave them longer because it's taking too long, and I don't want to wait to give my message out. I need to express this. So basically, victim. Victim. The word victim means someone who has been disempowered or disadvantaged in some way. Like somebody took something from you, like um, molest you, steal your money, play you, lie to you, abuse, like domestic violence, or whether it's covert abuse, emotional abuse, like your parents, you're a kid and they're being abusive, whatever. And like my whole life, like I've been trained, even as a kid, like my sister would always get mad at me for crying, and she'd be like pissed though, and she would like make me so scared, like to cry, and so like I wouldn't cry, and so my innocence was gone since I was a kid. I feel like it was obscured, like I could never access that innocence. I think I lost it mostly when I was like younger, like when I was 4, when I was having like molestation going on, like back to back. And after that had happened, it stopped, I think, when I was 5. And when it stopped, I remember feeling like angry, but not like, it's like I was angry at the person, but I was also mostly angry with myself because it happened. So a lot of times when you see like sexual like abuse victims, and I say victims, but that doesn't mean that's not all they are. It's just like to state what they are, because at the end of the day, you are a victim if you have been through some shit that like you really had no power over. But anyways, whatever. The whole point is, after that, I hated myself, and I hated myself. When I tell you, I hated myself. I was like, and I remember having an eating disorder as a kid. I was already starting to eat a lot, like binge eat. I would eat a lot of cookies, a lot of junk food, and I always felt ashamed about that because every time I'd go to my cousin's house, I would always like eat all her food, and then her parents would get mad at me and like shame me and then hide all the food from me when I'd come over. And then they didn't like it when I would come over too. They would always try to make her hang out more with their side of the family. Like my aunt Monica wanted her to hang out more with like their like her husband's side. And so, hold on. Sorry, this is like not. And so I'm expressing that because it makes me mad, you know? And I'm expressing that because it makes me mad, because it's like, what the fuck? So you see what I mean? The innocence was already tainted from then on. So it's like I hated myself because I felt like I was bad, like for what had happened to me. And I was like, and I remember clearly when I was a kid, and it's a trip because how did I know that? Like, how did I know that I was a victim? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, how can I explain it? So I was like, in my head, I remember this shit, dude. I remember being a little girl and getting mad and telling myself in my head, you're not a victim. And I said with anger, like, you're not a victim. Like, rage. Like, I felt this self-loathe. But I was little. So it's like, how can I cognitive, like, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's continue. So the innocence was already tainted. It's like self-loathe. That, like, ugh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what self-hate is. It's basically you think you're bad. It's shame. It's losing your innocence. It's thinking there's something bad about you. So where I'm going with this whole don't make yourself a victim thing is make yourself a victim. Like, not make yourself a victim, but like, don't let people tell you not to feel sorry for yourself, because you're not here to be like this perfect person that never feels emotions and never fucks up and never is, in a vulnerable position. And if you feel that way, like it's wrong to be vulnerable in a vulnerable position, that means you weren't loved. You weren't ever loved. You were taken advantage of. You were probably used for the people who loved you, their own benefit. Like, you serve me. Like, you're here for me. I'm not supposed to be here for you. You're here to serve me and my needs. So go do this for me and go do. So there's that. And then there's like manipulation. Like, I did this for you, so now you owe me. So that's already, you're in a vulnerable position. And so love to you means something completely different that it's not. And like another way that you could like probably be feeling like tainted, I guess, or not innocent, is probably if if they, okay, how can I explain this? Yeah, you didn't come here to be somebody to be liked. I didn't come here to be liked. I didn't come here to be God. I didn't come here to pretend that I'm not holding baggage and I'm not damaged goods. And I used to feel like that. I used to feel like I was just like damaged goods, but I'm not. You know, I'm a survivor. I'm a strong ass woman. And not a lot of people would have been able to handle what I have been through, like straight up. And I want you guys to have that type of like self love, you know, and that type of like enthusiasm for your own like successes, you know, or your accomplishments, whether they be like, I don't know, like it doesn't matter if it's small to some people or like big to others. It's like what matters is how you felt, like the contrast, like really realize what you went through, like acknowledge yourself, because what happened to me, the reason why I'm making this video, like I really want to like the reason why I wanted to make this video is because my whole fucking life, dude, I was shamed my whole life, and I'm not exaggerating, dude. I'm not. Why do you think I'm such like perfectionist? Shame, you know, my self-concept was shame. I felt so much shame all the time for everything and for nothing. And it was like I wasn't even a human. I was a product. I was an object to be built and shaped and formed in order to please people. And that external love was so addicting. It was so satisfying because at least I wasn't alone, you know? It felt like I wasn't like, hold on, let me check on the brownies. Damn, that smells good. But yeah, like the external love was so fucking addicting. I was like, yo, is this what it feels like? You know, like to be loved? Is this what love is? To like morph myself and be an object for people? And like, I noticed that the best kind of like attention I got was from guys when I was in high school or something like that. I think that's what it was. It wasn't that big of a deal, to be honest. I just wanted attention, you know, and I never, because I didn't get it, you know? And I'm talking about these things all the time because one, it helps me heal. It helps me integrate. Two, it helps other people heal and helps other people integrate. Three, it may trigger people to be like, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop talking about this. Stop talking about blah, 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 blah. Who cares? It's a past. Blah, 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 blah. Get a job. People always tell me that shit. I think it's me, but whatever. So at the end of the day, that triggers them. You know, they're the ones being triggered. So you see what I mean? Why are they being triggered? So that's what I'm talking about. It's like that's why I do the work I do. All crazy, like honestly, like that's why I do the work I do because I don't fucking care. I suffered so much, and I feel like these things are important. So that's why I'm making this video. Also, like a big, like fact, like a huge thing I want to say is you accumulate baggage. That's how you get baggage. So when you don't release that emotion and not only release it but validate it. It's really important the way I word this because people around me have told me like just let it out, but let it out like to get rid of it. Get rid of all these things, and it's just like no, you got to treat it like an entity as a being. You gotta treat it like a baby. You gotta nurture that shit. You gotta be like, what's good? Like, welcome. Like, let's have a cup of tea. You know, let's sit down. Why? Because you already objectified yourself. You don't want to objectify yourself more by acting. Let it out. Shit, like I don't know. For me, that makes me feel like a waste. Like what I'm feeling is just a waste and it shouldn't be there, and that's not true because at the end of the day it's a part of you. Nothing can be no nothing can be created or destroyed. It can only be transmuted. So it's a part of your life's purpose. It's a part of your gifts, and when you shove that down, you're shoving down your gifts. You're shoving down your essence, and you're shoving down your innocence, and you're shoving down all your self-worth, your dignity, as a human being, as a vibrational being, you have feelings which dictate your life. Like what you're feeling all the time, your normal state, that's what you're gonna be attracting in your life. So it's like that's why it's such a big priority to me. That's why it became such a big priority to me to reintegrate all aspects of myself, because I got so fragmented to the point where I ended up at a psychiatric hospital. And that shit's fucking scary, because I was so fragmented to the point where I was not in my body. And I will always tell the story, I don't give a damn, but I was not in my body and I couldn't feel anything, dude. The only thing I could feel was fear. And not even like that much. It was like so scary because I couldn't feel fear. Do you get me? Like I was so scared. And that's why, because I never had someone be there for me like that. I only had like one person or two people, I think, in my life that like have been there for me like a couple times in my life. Like, but like it just accumulated all the, like, every time like I'd be around my family, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm fine, but I felt so much pain and I didn't know why. And that's why I would tell them like I'm fine, because I also didn't know why I was in so much pain. And so that shit accumulates in your body. Nothing can be created or destroyed, it can only be transmuted. So that's a big lesson to learn. And like that's why people get like mental illnesses, because they didn't mature, they didn't mature. And like by mature I mean like the seeds weren't watered. The seeds were just there, and people around it were like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. The seeds were not watered. The seeds were not given sunlight. The seeds were just there. And that's why they're just seeds. You see what I mean? And that's why you see like grown people acting crazy, like kids, because there's always going to be that inner child in us, I feel like. But I feel like, I'm talking about those people that are just really, 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 really violent or really, really immature, like, abuse and stuff like that. Those things, that's because of that. There was no nurturing growing up. And I think it's really important that even as a grown-ass woman or a grown-ass man, if you didn't get the nurturing that you needed as a kid or the support, you have to find it now. That's what taking responsibility is. Taking responsibility is not shoving your pain down your throat and then like denying it, and then to the point where now you're drugging yourself up and using meth and heroin. That's not taking responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Taking responsibility is meeting your own needs. Taking responsibility is figuring out what your needs are. Taking responsibility is realizing that you have needs. Realizing that we as human beings have needs. That's something I didn't know. That's something that I learned along this whole journey I've been going on, because I didn't know what needs were. I knew my sexual needs. I knew my need for significance very young. Since I was a baby, I already knew. I was like, I know I want to shine. And I think kids know that they want to shine. But a lot of times as adults, we will suppress it because we feel less worthy now than kids. And we're just as worthy as when we were kids as now of love. And love is amazing because it expands you, because it's so alleviating, because it's so gentle, it's so it's a flowy energy. And that's why love is important, to feel like you're worthy of it, because as a grown person, nobody really, and that's the thing. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, we're gonna finish off in a bit and I'll just keep posting videos. But And that's the thing. That's my fucking point. Hold on. Let me get a napkin. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the point. As a grown adult, nobody's going to take care of you. And I mean nobody. And it's not their job to take care of you. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I have more to say after this. I'm saying it's nobody's job to take care of you. And what that means is, if you're an adult and you went through severe trauma, and for me, severe trauma is like, it doesn't have to be severe, okay? You can put yourself in any category you want. I don't give a fuck. I don't give two shits. But severe trauma, sexual abuse, ongoing boundary violation, constant from your parents, not giving a fuck about what your desires are, what you want. They're just like, no, you're going to church. No, you're going here. No, you're going there. You start getting used to like, oh, I don't have choice in my life. They have the choice. I don't. And it can be a habit. So anyways, my whole point is, it is nobody's job to take care of you as a grown person. And if you're still stuck in that child brain, and child should not be taken offensively, I really want to make that clear. Child consciousness should not be like offensive. It's really just a state of innocence, a state of not knowing. It's a state of, I don't understand, and I want to understand. That's why I'm here. So if you're an adult and you're stuck in that because of all the trauma that you went through, and let's say you went through severe trauma and you start hurting people, you start damaging people, as a, like, it's a result, you know, of consequences from your actions, my actions. For example, like when I went through this, like, people were not happy. People get mad. People are gonna react because people don't have to put up with our shit. And see what I did there? I unified you and I, the watcher, and I'm not saying, so that you can really understand, you can really feel that this video is made with pure love. Because I watched so many videos that they had shitty communication, made me feel like shit about myself. It's like, but anyways, it's gonna make them feel like shit, and it's like, they don't have to put up with it. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That means they understand that they have a choice, and they can make that choice, and then they can have boundaries. They feel worthy enough to tell you, fuck off. You know, like my aunt, I called her I called her a bitch, I think. Like, I don't remember. I was not okay at the time. I think I called her a bitch. I don't remember what else I said. Oh, I said your marriage is fake and trash. And I know that's fucked up, but hey, you know, you don't know my story. And fuck, what was I saying? Sorry, I don't know what the fuck just happened. I feel like a block. I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, okay. I called her a bitch and I said her marriage was fake and trash. And she's like, good to know. So she was being a bitch too then. And I'm saying it again too because she is kind of being a bitch and I don't care. Fuck, well, what was I going with this? Oh, she just didn't hit me back. So, like, we talked on Thanksgiving about the situation with my uncle and all that shit. I don't think she understands how I felt. I felt it as a violation. I felt it like molestation. You know, whether they have a different perspective or not, whether you guys have a different perspective or not, I don't give two fucks. You know why? Because I'm the one that felt everything. I'm the one that felt everything. I'm the one that was in the event. You guys were not in the event. She was not in the event. I was in the fucking event. So you guys cannot fucking tell me shit. You guys don't know shit. And on top of that, there were things I didn't tell her extra. And you know why I didn't tell her? Because she doesn't deserve to fucking know. Yeah. Just like that. She doesn't deserve to fucking know why, because she treated me like I provoked him, and I would never do something like that. I know myself. I may have accidentally, like, or maybe, like, with my communication, my body language, I don't know what the fuck. I don't think so. I really highly doubt it. But the only thing I feel I did wrong was having a conversation, answering his questions, his sexual questions. I should have denied him, but I didn't think that it was. I didn't think it was leading to something. You know what I'm saying? I was just answering questions like how I talk to homies, and that's my personal truth. But anyways, the whole point is, for Thanksgiving we talked. Whatever. It was useless. The talk was useless. Useless. But I don't regret going. You know why? Because I got to see that he showed no remorse. I saw his face. Or I don't know what the fuck he felt, but it was so hard to read people. And that's why I make these videos. And that's why I own my shit. Because people deny their feelings to the degree that they don't even know what they're feeling anymore. And they're like, for example, when I was going through that situation with my uncle, I didn't know that I had fear. Isn't that scary? Like, I didn't know that I was scared. You know when I realized I was scared? When I had to tell my aunt. When months later and I was getting PTSD, a flashback.